Bashers, it's Friday and I'm all by myself today. I started the show just a little bit late because Oshin was doing his Miami thing and he's probably still doing it. So I just figured I'd come on in here and say hi and just maybe do a regular show. But I'd like to start out the show with an apology, practice a little bit of what I preach here on iBashers, and that is kindness. So who else? Let's see who's in the room. A lot of the chats that were here earlier today are gone because YouTube is doing this amazing service of removing all my chats. I do know that Emmett was in there at number 1, so he'll be getting a Basher of the Day song, which is kind of cringy because, like, you sending Emmett, like a song, because he's a producer and a musician, and it's going to be crap no matter what I do. So anyway, that's going out to him. So we've got Scotty H. I have to work. Oh, I thought for sure you'd be here live in the room, and I was hoping to see you here, buddy. Well, Ken Furby's here. Dean, we need to start the revolution. My call to arms has gone unanswered for 20 years of non-compliance. And Andy M. Good evening, kind sir. Very best wishes to you and yours. Cool thumbnail, very cool stained glass window. Yeah, it was funny because last night I was sitting on the couch, we were watching some TV, and I showed Paul what Chat GPT is because he doesn't know what that stuff is, nor does he really care, but he's an artist. And I said, well, okay, so for shits and giggles, I said, Chat GPT, I'd like, first we tried something in the style of Georges Seurat. And then I said, you know what? I would really love something like 3 musicians, but with cats in the abstract kind of Picasso style. So I asked for that. It said, due to copyright restrictions, we can't do that. And then I said, okay, how about, can I have 3 musicians in stained glass playing jazz? They're all cats. And can it be in that particular style? And the first try, I didn't do anything to it other than put the iBashers logo on it. It did such a great job. So yeah, I really like that too. The latest ones have been really, really, really terrific, and I've been thrilled for them. And I hope you are too, because I'm working on that calendar. I think that one's going to go on it. But still can't get it out of the back of my head, because I hadn't seen Angelo on the show for a couple of days, and I thought that was weird. And then I was like, oh, they kind of bashing the Cybertruck and all that stuff, and I hope he didn't take it personally, and he very might have done that. And I can't apologize enough. Just feel bad about it, No name needed. 1999. Wow, being human enough to admit, well, dude. Thanks, No Name. You did something that might have hurt somebody's feelings and apologizing. It's very rare in this day and age. Thank you, Dirk, for showing us the way to behave. Yeah, but I feel like I could have done a whole hell of a lot more. Thank you, No Name needed. But yeah, I guess in the moment I thought I had shut it down appropriately because it just went on for too long. Even went on after I left the room. And listen, I'm my own person, and I can do things that apply to me. I can't control other people. Everybody's got an opinion, and that's what it is. And but it's on my show. I should take responsibility for those kinds of things, especially if it might have been at the cost of somebody else that I care about, especially on this show, because somebody like he has been so incredibly kind and wonderful to this show. And I got to practice what I preach. Sure. Can I call somebody a douche or a yeah, sure, if they deserve it. But, regardless of, some people like, here's a perfect example. A dear old friend of ours. I hadn't seen him in years and years and years. And we go out for dinner. We're having a great night. And this was about 2 years ago. And we're talking about music, and he's not a musician, but he's a fan of music. And we were talking about Oasis, a band I don't care about. I've just never had any interest in them, and I know a lot of people do like them, whatever. But I find the Gallagher brothers very amusing, but the music just does nothing for me. So I was blah blah blah. He started talking about them, and I bashed the crap out of them. And then he's like, "They're my favorite band," and I felt terrible. Because there's no reason for me to go crazy and say they're the worst band ever or whatever, or they're just derivative or whatever. Everybody likes stupid. I like Kiss. How fucking stupid is that? I mean, I know that they suck. I know that they do. I happen to like it though. We all have, everybody happens to like what they like. I never had a driver's license in my entire life. Um, I've been a Corvette fan since I'm a kid. I love Corvettes. I know pretty much everything about them, even though I've never driven one or owned one. But like that Cybertruck is something that I love. I'm obsessed with it. I watch all the videos. I'm super excited about Angelo getting his. I wanted to do something on. I hope he still wants to do it on the show. I haven't heard from him, and it's gutting me. So, that something as stupid as that can cause pain to somebody is just unnecessary. And that's just, I'm not going to belabor the point anymore, but it is what it is. And I'm sorry. Donald Murray, Harry Clark stained glass window in Ireland. Very good. Yeah. I've said this before, but on the American Airlines terminal when I was growing up, where my dad worked out of, they have this amazing, the largest stained glass mural in the world. And it has since been taken apart because they knocked that building down and they built a giant, big, ugly hangar that looks like blech. And what that was a mid-century modern masterpiece. Not quite the Worldport by Pan Am, which is also gone. But the TWA terminal, which still exists and is now a hotel and restaurant, it's gorgeous. If you're ever in New York, I beseech you to go to the TWA hotel. It is marvelous engineering by Eero Saarinen, and it's the design they built. And they did a beautiful job of adding hotel wings, and there's a pool on the roof that's heated 365 days a year. You can sit in the pool and watch planes take off. It's pretty great. And they have two fantastic restaurants, and it's not crazy expensive. It really isn't. So I beseech you to go do that. But the stained glass window that was on American Airlines was it last Christmas? I think it was, or it could have been the Christmas before. I went and got a piece of that. Mural because they were selling it. They didn't put it in a museum. First of all, it was the size of a football field. It was ginormous. But they took all the pieces out and they were selling them piece by piece. And I got one for Paul for Christmas. And it's about maybe 4 feet high by like 3 feet wide. And it's blue and red and it's very, very pretty. So I did try to recreate that for my Sunday Mass background, but AI didn't seem to get it right. But now AI's got a voice attached to it. And it seems to be, it's machine learning. So they're really catching up to technology. It's really working better. I just did this on one shot and it turned out great, so I really like it. Hope you like that one too. Thanks so much. Mike Callan's here. Happy Friday, Bashers. Let the weekend begin. Cheers to everyone, and Dirk, cheers to you, Mike Callan. Great to see you. The AI is probably learning what you like. Yeah, I guess it is. I guess it's finally learning what I like. Selena, hey Basharistes, was watching Oshin but came over here to my favorite dude. Aw, thanks. You're putting up your tree? Happy Christmas. Happy Christmas. We talked about holiday blues yesterday, Selena. I don't know if you're around or you caught it later on. But a lot of people I know, very close people, friends and family, get very depressed during the holiday season. And I just said everybody should probably think about reaching out to people that they love at this time, because especially when there's been loss in their lives, or if they're lonely, it's always a great thing to reach out to somebody and say, I'm thinking about you. It helps. Practice what you preach. That's going to be my new thing. That's I'm going to do that right now. Let me make a banner right now. Practice what you preach. Yeah, boom, there it is. And I'm going to try to live up to that for 2025. It's a shame that I didn't notice that right off the top of my head, and I'm very sorry for that. No name needed says, I'm a John Denver fan. I mean, John Denver falls into the same category, sadly, as people who loved the Carpenters. Now, the Carpenters were one of the great, now are recognized as being, she's recognized as being one of the greatest singers in the history of vocalists. But at that time, they were considered square and cheesy and corny. And now she's exalted as the greatest thing ever. And she was, of course, she sang with Ella Fitzgerald, and people were enamored with her and spellbound by how great she was. And I think the same thing has happened for John Denver. What a writer that guy was. And it's not just Annie's song or, Leaving on a Jet Plane. That guy wrote so many amazing songs. I mean, he was like a real nerdy square, but in real life, he really wasn't. I think he had a cocaine problem. He was a pilot. I think he had some, like he wasn't as square as you think. Compared to him, I'm like a priest. So I don't know. Absolutely. Been busy with home stuff and missing live shows. Well, welcome. It's great to see you in there, and good tidings and cheer to you, darling. Melly C says there's nothing wrong with Kiss. No, I know, but it's making the point where I get why people think, like and I'm one of those Kiss fans that totally gets it. I'm a Kiss fan. I love their records. I think they have some of the greatest songs. I think Ace is a great guitar player. I think Paul's an amazing singer. I think Gene's a great bass player. I love Peter. I love them. But people think that they're this or that. And I get why they wouldn't like it. But like, God, don't say anything to Aces fans. They get sad. But I didn't want to make him sad. I love the guy that I said this to. And I felt so terrible. It's just not a band that does anything for like Pearl Jam. I don't get Pearl Jam. I think it's boring. But that's just me. That's the difference between some people like Renoir and some people like, Calder or whatever, artists you like. That's what makes the world go round, that people like blondes, brunettes, or redheads. It's different strokes for different folks. It's a totally true thing. There's totally nothing wrong with Kiss. I listen to them for pleasure all the time. Donald Murray says, Irish dry stone walls are after being added to an escort. I don't know what that means, Donald. What does that mean? To on escort. What does that mean? Jesus Christ, no name needed. $99. Angelo, please come back. You're missed. I don't know. I haven't seen him on the show. And I honestly don't know if he's just avoiding the show or I don't know. What can I say? I wrote to him and I just want everybody to know that I'm sorry. Oh, UNESCO. Yes, there you go. UNESCO. I was like, what is it? On escort. Did I freeze? I froze. UNESCO. Irish dry stone walls are being added to UNESCO. For those, I'm sure everybody knows that UNESCO is like a governing body of ancient and significant architectural and natural things like Stonehenge or Dubrovnik, the walls of Dubrovnik, and lots of things. I think the entire city of Venice is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. That's great. And that makes total sense that they would be. But 99 balloons. Geez, I'm not giving you any Big Bang Boom. I'm going to give you two. This. And this. Thank you so much. No name needed. No name needed. Andy M says, Elon is cool. Thankfully, he chose to visit planet Earth during our time. Cybertrucks are interesting and very different. I'm a Land Rover guy. Need I say more? It wasn't so much pointed at the Cybertruck. It was Elon Musk. Because, you know what? If you lived in America, you would know that he is, he's probably paid for Donald Trump's almost entire campaign. And people don't like him for that. People don't like him for a lot of reasons. People don't like him because, he bought a lot of the companies that he made, but he invented the Boring Company, which is like a big giant, he didn't really invent anything. I don't know how involved he is in Tesla Motors, a company that he did purchase. He's a very, very wealthy guy, and he's got a very unusual personality. He's definitely a unique character, polarizing for sure. It was more based upon his political proclivities than the actual truck, because I love the truck and it's cool. We have so many in New York, and New York has big enough roads to handle it because it's a monster. It's a giant thing. And like somebody made a great point down here. I just saw it. I just saw it down here. It says, where was it? I just said, so it was something about truck guys and how they bash each other, like the Ford F-150 guys versus the Ram truck guys and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm a New York City kid. I've never had to have a driver's license. Paul's got a car. I've never had one. I know how to drive and I like driving, but I've never had a reason to actually. I went 3 times to go get my license. I breezed through the written test, and I had to wait for like 2 hours, 2 times to get to the actual driving test. So I bailed because I hate red tape. And then the third time I failed it. I went to New Jersey in my sister's town and I applied there. And the guy said, he drives too fast. He's never had a license and he acts like he's been driving for 20 years. And they failed me. And I've never gone back. But having said that, with the whole Italian thing down the line, I'll probably wind up just getting a Vespa. But I love cars. I love trucks. I love driving. I love that stuff. Plus, I also love tech. I'm a techie nerd. I'm a super nerd. So all that stuff. 20 Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Jocelyn Bittenbender. Hey, you lady poo. Finishing up at work. Finally have a moment to join the Bashers. Well, she's on the chat. She's here in the room. Great to see you, Jocelyn. Hey, I smell really, really good, by the way. Bert says, stop beating yourself up, Dirk. We've all been there. Karen Carpenter. Did you think she was hot, Bert? Hey, man, no. It's just, it's not a matter of beating myself up. It's just practicing what I preach. And, this show has evolved from being, kind of a watch thing to a, wow, that looks really green today, huh? To being cat fancy / be kind to people. And you know what? 2025 is going to be the year that I'm going to make sure I practice what I preach. And I think it's important that we all do that. Kevin Hawthorne is here. And Kevin Hawthorne, for those of you who are familiar with my show, and I think many others should know that Kevin Hawthorne practices what he preaches every single day. And he does it by volunteering to give out information on how to get to and from where you're going in the Lakeland, Florida area. A true hero, a regular Joe who wants to spread goodwill towards others. Thank you so much for your service, Mr. Kevin Hawthorne. I can't help myself. Who doesn't love the Carpenters? Oh my God. So I have a friend named Mary, who I call Giselle. I'm Frankie and she's Giselle. We used to go out to bars and just pretend we were a couple. And we'd, like, as a joke, we'd get into like little fights at the bar. And one time it stopped here. We used to just be like New York trashy and be like, Giselle, why do you got to wear that? You look like a hooah. And you're like, Frankie, you're so nasty to me. And she's an amazing singer. One of the most amazing singers I've ever known. I've known her since I'm like 13. So one night we were in a bar and we're doing our little shtick. We just used to do it for fun. It was a goof. Like, we were kind of like both into the arts, and she was taking acting classes and she wanted some improv. So we did some stuff and we got into a thing and I walked away and she told the girl, she goes, I love Frankie, but sometimes he hits me. I walked back, a girl threw a drink in my face and said, what's that all about? She goes, we have to get out of here. I said, you told him I hit you. Don't push it. I don't want that kind of improv. Hitting women. Oh my God. Frankie. Kevin Hawthorne, evening. Yes, he's a wonderful guy. Eric B's here, the guy with the biggest hands you've ever seen in your life. Morning, everyone. Watches look minute in his palm. I've shown that picture to everybody. I'm like, oh my God, this is a guy from my show. He's look at the size of that guy's paws. Holy crap. YouTube user, truck guys always rag on whatever truck. That's a shame. Yeah, I wish it was just about the truck. It just got stupid and really ugly, and I hate it. Jim Patterson, did I get? Yes, I did indeed. And it's coming to you soon. I sure did, Jim Patterson. Absolutely. Thank you so very much for that. The sweatshirts they're not fully printed yet. So no name needed, in case anybody hasn't realized. It's Carolyn Martin. The sweatshirts have not come in yet, but I will keep everybody updated. Fantastic. Oh, by the way, I didn't make this announcement on the show. How many of you got your pens? Because Carolyn Martin, she broke her thumb and all that stuff. And these are handcrafted by her personally. And it took a while, but she put her money where her mouth is, and she put her craft out there. And so hopefully most of you have either gotten your pens by now. And if so, could we get some beautiful shots of them? I mean, I've got my Carolyn Martin. I don't have an iBashers pen, and I don't know, and I no name needed. I would much rather a basher have one than me. I have my original Carolyn Martin pen that is in my living room right now. But I'd love for you guys to show them off if you've received them. So anybody who's got one, if you could, please take a picture of it and send it to the Gallery Bashers, because we will be doing that tonight. because tonight's not going to be the Friday night drinky poo show. I'm having Drew B coffee in my Handsome Joe LaFaro cups. Drinking just gets you into trouble. Nick Sisto. Hey, Nick Sisto. Cheers to the iBashers family. Cheers to you, Nick Sisto. And thanks. Thank you very much for everything. And Carolyn wants to know if you got your pen because it was shipped out. Because you won one. You got one. And you deserve one. Andy M. I worked with a fellow who was a close personal friend of John Denver. His colleagues called BS when he died. He had boxes of photos and letters that shut them up quick smart. What does that mean? I worked with a fellow who was a personal friend of John Denver. Are you listening? His colleagues called BS when he died because he died in that plane crash. It was like an experimental plane crash. He had boxes of photos and letters that shut them up quick smart. What does that mean? I need to know way more. Oh, wow. No name needed. It's Carolyn Barton. Andy M. My college roommate rear-ended his Porsche when we were visiting our grandmother in Aspen. I was beyond over. Oh, you met him? I mean, I knew you loved him. I didn't know you met him. That's cool. What's it like? I know because you idolize him. I know she's got like a portrait of him everywhere in her house. Wow. I'd love to hear that story. Dirk, you have to remember it's only some people who dislike Elon. Lots of people. Oh, no, I know that lots of people love him. And listen, SpaceX. Man, I mean, you got to look at SpaceX and go, wow, what are we doing wrong here, kiddos? Because the United States government and NASA, and I'm such a big fan of the space program and all things NASA, but it's like Boeing, and Boeing is a mess too. For some crazy reason, and he is an engineer and he's very smart. Obviously, he's definitely on the fringe of insanity, though. But so many people are. There's a fine line between genius and insanity. I mean, what they're able to do. I mean, SpaceX to the rescue because NASA and Boeing can't get their act together. What is it about that stuff? Now, I know lots of people love him. I was a really big fan of him until he just started with the whole kind of nonsense with conspiracy theories and misinformation stuff and the Twitter thing. And now I found out that there's somebody told me that one of the biggest things on X is X, that there's stuff on there now. And I was like, oh God. Nick Sisto says, Carolyn, I did. Thank you so much. It's awesome. Well, that's great. If you get a chance, could you, not now, but sometime for the gallery, it would be great. Just so everybody could have a look at them, because I know everybody was very curious about it. I'm glad you like it. Thanks again for your patience. Yeah, thank you. And thank you, Carolyn. Thank you, Nick. Travis Watts, $10. Nice to see you, Dirk, on this beautiful Friday evening. Hope all is well. Cheers, my friend. Great to see you, buddy boy. Let's give you Gong Woman 1. Thank you so much, Travis. Travis, send us a picture. You have such a, first of all, talk about a guy with beautiful hands and a great wrist presence, Travis Watts. So Travis, send us a picture tonight on the at Basherdirk@gmail.com. Where is it? Basherdirk@gmail.com. You know how to get hold of me. Look, because we don't get nearly enough of your beautiful wrist presence on this show, and we love it. Thank you for your patience. I'm glad you like it. Any problems, reach out to me and I'll take care of it for you, because she's full service. Cybertruck stopped production due to work scheduling and part supply. Does anybody know where they're built? I'm not quite sure. There are about 6 of them in my neighborhood, and everybody but one is using those wraps, like colored wraps. That's the new thing with those things. One guy has it in chrome, which I can't believe is legal, because if you walk up to it, it just looks like it's invisible. It looks like Wonder Woman's car. It's crazy, but those things are huge. And, I live in New York City, big roads, big city. So you'd see them here. And, they do get very, very fingerprinty. So maybe that's the reason why they all do the wraps on. I would imagine eventually they'll probably make them in colors, and no name needed. Apparently he was a very interesting and interested guy. He was very experimental guy, kind and gentle, real tragedies passing, and he was doing what he loved. It's true, man. He went down in a plane and he absolutely loved it. So, hey, Selena's here. She says, good mantra and New York resolution. Practice what you preach and look after others. Yeah, that's it. I got to be a little bit more aware of that. I guess sometimes it's, it just happens where you just not on top of it. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, coulda. But you know what? Less of that if I can. Bert D wants to know if he can buy a Bashers beanie. Here's what's going to happen, Bert. We're going to, for 2025, we're going to open up a little store. Obviously, there'll still be giveaways and stuff like that. But like, I'm wearing this. I'm sorry I'm wearing a hat on the show, but the reason why I'm wearing a hat on the show is because my landlord, is a big witch, and she hasn't been giving us heat. So I folded over, but this is the Bashers beanie. But they're going to be shorter. See, iBashers. This is cool. Like I look like Russian. I'll wear it like this tonight. This is the Bashers beanie. I have it folded over only because it's very long. But it's very cool. That's the Bashers beanie. And I'll wear it like that. How about that? That's cool. I'll wear it like that. They will be available in 2025. We're just, figuring like what length, because I'll take my hat off. My hair's a mess, but you'll see. I could do a punk show. So this is the Bashers beanie that I'm wearing right now. Bashers. There, Bashers. See, this one's very long, and that's cool too, especially if you're a skier or winter sports kind of person. That's pretty cool, right? So I get this down to a science. I did. There you go. God, now I look like, as my mother used to say, you look like Dinny Dimwit. Now I'm wearing a turban. Isn't that cool? Maybe that'll be my new look. I'm wearing a turban because there are channels that make fun of other channels, and I'm occasionally on there, so they'll be like, Dirk's wearing a turban now. So we'll have stuff available soon, and it's going to be long sleeve shirts, hoodies, and hats and stuff with minor stuff, not something crazy, and mugs. I think we came up with a mug idea too. We'll get to that. But first order of business is I'm going to get the calendar hopefully out before the end of the year. And I'll let you guys know about that. It's going to have all the original artwork from not everyone, 12 months plus the cover of the very best of the Bashers catz from this year. Fun stuff to do. And that's, like I said, if you have an idea for that particular one, you can go to basherdirk@gmail.com and say which one you like the best. I got a bunch of emails already. People pick what they like. And I'm listening to you. Yes, I have my favorite. I have my two favorites, and I'm putting them in there. But that's, doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be me. It should be more about you. It's your show. I just host it. Then we got Hitesh C. Hey, buddy. Dirk, did you get my address for the water bottle? I sure did. Might be a while since we have a postal strike. Oh God, why does that have to happen? Yes, I absolutely did. And by the way, anybody who won anything on the anniversary show, all of your addresses I have, and all of your stuff is going out. So we took care of that the very next morning. We made sure that we had everything done. So I wanted to make sure we got all that out to everybody. Thanks so much. Yes. So, and there you go. You have a parcel going out tomorrow. So there you are. And she wants to know if Bert Dundee, you are in the US. Bert, if you do, send me your information to Basherdirk@gmail.com. Oh, you're in Scotland. Yeah. Dundee. You knew he was like some form of like you could have been Australian, I guess, right? Like Crocodile Dundee. Does anybody remember that? That was such a big thing in the United States. That was when the Australian zeitgeist hit America. That moment when Crocodile Dundee, when everybody was obsessed with everything Australian. It's when AC/DC happens and all the bands started coming over. People started listening to Cold Chisel and Midnight Oil and NXS, and then the hits just kept on coming. And they just could not get enough of all things Australian. Bumped into a Brit who lives on the island of Bermuda. They are heavily reliant on the US dollar, even though they are a UK Brit thing. So I have friends that are very involved in the SS United States who are cruisers, which the SS United States is an ocean liner. It's not a cruise ship, but they love cruise ships, and he and his wife go on them all the time. But their favorite place in the whole wide world is Bermuda, and they sail there at least 3 to 4 times a year. Now, I've been to Bermuda once when I was a kid, And it was in the 70s, and I'll tell you how long ago it was. The first Pope John Paul died while I was there. So Pope John Paul II, the first Pope John Paul was only, I think he was there with 10 or 11 days as Pope, and he died. I say murder. But I remember we stayed at this place called the Castle Harbor Hotel, and you can go on YouTube. It was, man, what I would do as an adult to go stay in this place. It was in this area called Tucker's Bay. I think it was called Tucker's Bay, but it wasn't called that. It was called Castle Harbor. They changed everything. Developers ruined it. It was this beautiful kind of Art Deco hotel on a cliff, and the way you got to the hotel was over this bridge, and they had a pink sand beach that you went down this trail. It was gore. I have photographs of it when we were kids, but there's somebody on YouTube went there every single year from the 50s to the 70s, and they took Super 8s and they put all of them up on YouTube. So I've been to Bermuda a couple times, and yes, it is very interesting how it is part of the realm, except they do rely on the US dollar. As a matter of fact, they don't take pounds there. They take, I think they're Bermudian dollars. It's a very interesting, like, I'm not exactly sure what their designation is as part of the empire, but they are definitely, part of the UK, but they are independent in some way too. It's very interesting. Andy M says, Dirk, this chap lived with Den. Dirk, this chap lived with Den for years. Ironically, had the same hairstyle. They did all sorts of stuff together. He also had loads of original recordings and very personal gifts. Watches art. He wasn't gay, was he? I don't think so. Dirk, this chap lived there. That's interesting. So he had all of John Denver's personal effects. That's fascinating. Carolyn, hello. Do you know anything about this? Thank you for Dirk and the company. Thank you. What are you crazy? Thank you very much. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much. You sent me a picture. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. Andrew Wolkowicz. What's up, baby? I love that you're on the show. I'm sure it's against the law to not turn on the heat in somebody's apartment. Yeah, it totally is against the law. I had to send her attorney a letter and made several complaints. And it's funny, like the other day, the heat went up like a little bit, like the radiators were just a little bit warm. And that's as far as they got. Then it went off an hour later. And then like 3 hours later, it came on just a little bit. She's just goofing with me. I know. It's just, you have no idea. It's just so bad. Yeah, no heat sounds illegal. It's totally illegal. It's completely legal. Thanks for the compliment. Dude, look at that shot right now. That looks like your hand model. I mean, it's crazy. Sharon's in the room. Hey. Oh, I love that silver heart. Very cool. No heat. It's not cold in New York. That should be, it's freezing in New York. It is so cold right now. Greetings, Dirk. All my comments and quips have vanished on tonight's. I saw that you'd put a bunch up there because I was on there earlier because I just want to see I love to see how everybody reacts to the thumbnails because I work on them, even though AI designs most of it. But they're my concepts and stuff, and I do tweak them in Photoshop. I saw all that great stuff and I was so excited for it. Joe LaFaro, I'm so sorry. If you could remember any of them, I will recite them because I love reciting your adages daily. They're fantastic. Joe LaFaro, hey B. How are you, handsome Joe? Hey, look who's here, Mimi. Hey, honey. Hey. I know you guys would be bestie friends. I know you would be. Joe LaFaro, better late than never. It's great to see. I was watching a little bit of the show early where he was smoking cigars. So you were there. And I was just like, I put my show back an hour because I don't know what happened to him down there. So I figured maybe it was, just give him a little breathing room. I don't like to rebel stream. I know other people don't mind it, but I don't like to do it. I don't think it's nice. Never tease a weasel because teasing isn't nice. What is that? What is it? Never tease a weasel. I want to get this right because I know you know this, Joe LaFaro, because I mentioned it. Never tease a weasel. Let's see if I spell never. Can I not get the poem? I want to recite this. It's really good. Shit, because it's a book. Oh, look, there's so many books. There was something like never tease a weasel, please take my advice. Because if you were a weasel, you know it wouldn't be so nice or something like that. And it's very nice. And I think weasels are cute. Memorabilia all signed, very discreet, and only spilled when people laughed at Denver for being in a homemade plane. He stuck up for his friend, and they all looked like dicks. Oh, okay. Well, everybody kind of knows that now. You know, the 70s, because everybody was hip and cool and funky, and everybody was trying to get into the whole R&B black music thing, and everybody was cool. Even the Bee Gees did it. The Bee Gees were squarer than Squaresville. I mean, my God, could you have been, oh, and I love the Bee Gees, don't get me wrong. And I think Robin's got the coolest voice ever. But they were very square, those dudes. And then boom, they're the kings of disco. Everybody made disco records, and everybody's now sexy. Apparently, Karen Carpenter got in the studio with Phil Ramone to make a disco record, and her record label refused to release it. That's probably good advice, because now we have, Solitaire and all the beautiful songs, all the Backrack stuff. And, her brother is a bit of an odd bird, and he, obviously she got most of the attention because she's 99.9% of the focal point, but he is an extremely talented and gifted songwriter and piano player, and he arranged all those songs. Now, for example, Close to You, dun, 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 dun. Why do birds suddenly appear? 3 or 4 people tried to put that song out, and it flopped. Now, that's a Burt Bacharach Hal David song, and now it's considered one of the all-time classics. It wasn't until Richard Carpenter's arrangement of that song until it became a hit, and also the vocal. Let's talk about that vocal. It's just absolutely incredible. Wow. Sharon says, now this is a knife. She says, that's not a knife. That's a crown. Bert Dundee says, Bon Scott from just outside Dundee. Now, yeah, I didn't realize that he was, because Brian Johnson he's a Geordie, right? And Bon Scott was from Scotland. But I just found out the other day that those guys were originally all from Scotland. I never knew that. That's not a knife. This is a knife. You guys are hilarious. Ghost of Time. Hello, Ghost of Time. Great shot. Nice. Beautiful. Look at that. Look at that color dial. It's pretty crazy. Good to see you, Ghost of Time. I love how you guys look at this. Thank you, everybody. I love the Bashers. You guys are all talking to each other online. It's great. I know you guys would be the best of friends. I didn't expect the show to be on at this hour. Well, I usually started at 6 o'clock, but I did it because I wanted to give Oisin some breathing room. Very important, I think. Not to rebel stream people. I just don't like it. I know one particular person didn't follow the rules. I don't know why. Well, we all agreed on times. But then again, I'm not a watch channel, so who cares? I have watches. You have watches. We like watches. We'll show watches, but we'll show your cat too. Nobody else is going to start showing their cats. Go ahead. Fight me. Mimi says, is anyone else here in the United States as obsessed with this UHC shooting situation as I am? That's a very interesting thing to talk about. So it happened in my town, as you all know, and this is a professional hit, obviously. This turns out that the gun that he used is considered by many to be a veterinary gun, however you would say that, Caribbean. It is oftentimes used to take out animals at distances humanely. I don't know how shooting somebody is humane, but this gun has a built-in silencer. Comes with it's not built in, you screw it on. But they have so many things about this guy. They know where he stayed. They know where he ate. They have a fingerprint. They know the gun. They know the brand of the backpack now. They know that he used City Bike. Now, here's the thing about City Bike. City Bike is our municipal bicycles. Now, I don't have my phone. I use my phone as my camera. In order to use Citibank, you have to have a credit card, but not only just a credit card, you have to have a MasterCard. It's sponsored. It's got the MasterCard logo on it. So you have to use a MasterCard or you have to use your phone. So he had to have a MasterCard. Now, I don't know if prepaid cards work on those things, if anybody else does. I mean, they're going to catch this guy unless he's some kind of serious mastermind, and this is just the beginning of several different, obviously this is motivated probably by this guy's career. People have a lot to say about a guy he's only been the CEO for 4 years, so he didn't invent the game of healthcare, corruption, et cetera, et cetera. And the guy is now dead, and he's a family man. So you have to take a lot of things into account for that. You can't say stuff like, well, he had it coming or any of that stuff. I know that there's a lot of conjecture out there and people saying stuff like, well, no, because people take crazy jobs. If that was true, then every politician would be assassinated too, because of the corruption and, all the lobbying and all the junk that gets done just watch House of Cards to see how it all works, but this was a pro hit. There's no way he drove into the park on that bicycle and didn't drop off his coat and his hat and his mask and his backpack to somebody else, because he left the park without it. So, and they scoured the park. It's big, but it's not that big. It's big, but you get a lot of cops and the feds, and you'll be able to scour that park. Unless he sunk it in one of the ponds. Maybe we'll find that out. I didn't think about that. Maybe that thing was filled with rocks. Who knows? Who knows what was in there? They will eventually. There's no way. There's cameras everywhere. If this was London, they would have had him in 15 minutes, because London is so wired. It's the most wired city I've ever seen. There's cameras everywhere. I think they have cameras in toilets in London. It's just insane. But here there's cameras everywhere. And I think it's a little funny how they must know a whole lot more than we know so far. Now, he did pull his mask down because the girl behind the desk thought he had pretty eyes. And she said, pull your mask down. And he did. So we've seen his face. Somebody knows who that guy is. And he looked like he's an actual assassin. He looks like he's a pro hitman. For sure, doesn't he? The way he just so calmly, nonchalantly, that looked like a movie hit. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, we're all obsessed. Yeah, we were talking about it on the phone all day today. From what I found out, they are, probably true. Travis Watt, 72 degrees in California, not bragging. It's so freezing here in New York City. Today I took Rose to go get her hair did. And that's a New York expression. Actually, I think it's a Southern American expression. I go in and got my hair did. She looked great. Let me do it like every month and a half, but for Christmas and all that stuff, got her hair done. So we had to walk about 5 blocks, and it was so cold, and she didn't want to wear a hat. I'm like, you're wearing a hat. Sorry, lady. They were special friends, not that special. He was an engineer, and they had shared interests like they were flatmates. Who dat? I can't believe that the shooter took his mask off to flirt. I know. Isn't that funny? Just goes to show you, guys are stupid. We're just the biggest pack of lunatic idiots there are. Dumb, dumber than dumb. We're just dum-dums. Pretty girl, mask down. Oh shit, I just killed somebody. What an idiot. What an absolute idiot. Mimi says it's why we live here, isn't it? That's absolutely true. Sharon loved John Denver. I used his music to, how many people learned how to play guitar via John Denver? I think Carolyn Martin learned how to play guitar because of John Denver, because she plays guitar. I hope I'm not giving that away. Never tweeze an easel. I wish I remembered that whole thing, but I guess I'll get a copy of the book. Okay, I'm glad to see I'm not the only one. Absolutely. The whole world is talking about it. I can't believe he took his mask off to flirt. Lots of theories going around about I live with the true crime king, and he's all over that stuff. Oh, Dirk, Phil had a lot of good stories about Karen Carpenter. I bet he did, honey. Now, can I just tell you that when Mimi says Phil had a lot of good stories about Karen Carpenter, she's talking about Phil Ramone. Phil to her. Phil Ramone to us, one of the greatest producers in the history of producers. I mean, one of the greatest. He produced lots of Billy Joel records, lots of Barbra Streisand, lots of Neil Diamond records, tons and tons of records. He actually produced a gorgeous George Michael record called Songs of the Last Century, where the first record George made that they were not songs he wrote. He did like Brother, Can You Spare a Dime, and Wild is the Wind, and all these amazing songs. And that was produced, I believe that was the last record that Phil Ramone did before he passed away. Tragic loss, because he was a genius and a New York legend. And Phil to Mimi. Travis Watt says, Country Roads is one of my favorite songs. Yeah, it was one of my mother's favorites too. Country Road, take me home. Everybody loved that. Sharon's a true crime freak. Uh-oh. Karen was gorgeous. She was just, oh God, that voice. I mean, the purest, it's technically one of the most perfect voices ever recorded. Her pitch, forget about all these weasels now with their auto-tune and Melodyne and all this crap. Everybody's so fake now. Karen Carpenter, if you threw that into pitch correction software, it would probably look so great. You would be like, don't touch it. And people are doing that now. They're going back to old records, taking old great records. Like they tuned up. You want to hear a tragedy? Queen is now remixing their entire catalog. So the first one was Queen 1. Doesn't have very many other than Keep Yourself Alive. Doesn't have a lot of very famous of their gianter hits. But they corrected his vocals on the album. And Queen fans like myself are furious. Do you go back and fix Freddie Mercury? Do you go into the studio and pitch correct Freddie Mercury? Why would you do that? We all know it and we all love it and we all think it's great. Who are you to think that you should make that the thing that we think is godlike and make it, what are you making it godlier? No, you're ruining it. And I wouldn't be surprised if somebody somewhere decides to go in and goof around with somebody like Karen Carpenter. They've done it with so many things already, and it's disgraceful. Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. One of my friends who I don't completely agree with thinks that he could be a woman. Oh, interesting. The shooter might be a woman? I don't think so. I think he's very, very handsome. I mean, you can see he looks like a model. Oh, that's interesting. I love this twist meme. Very cool. Sharon says, I thought it was a woman too in one of the photos. Man, you guys are freaking me out now. I thought I was all over that because I've been clicking all day looking around to see what it is. Wow. Brilliant minds think alike. You too. You're crazy. Jim Patterson says he's kicking it in Miami. He might be down there. My theory is that he might be working for somebody. He's an assassin. I don't think it's him. Because look at him, he's so nonchalant. If you were like going to go kill the president of an insurance company because they did you wrong, you would be filled with angst and fear, and because you never did something like this. He was calm, cool, collected, went and just took that guy out. This guy's killed before. He's definitely a hitman. Thought about him being a her, but person looks like a dude in the pics. Dude looks like a lady. Is that a Desmond Child song? I think it is. I don't know for a fact, but I think it is. It sounds like it. A person or an org trying to make a statement. Could be. He's definitely, guys, I guarantee you that's a hitman. I don't believe that's a person with an axe to grind in any way, shape, or form. I don't think so. The gun was developed originally in World War II for Allied assassins. Single shot, very quiet due to rubber baffles in the silencer. Not a durable gun, needs a lot of maintenance. Yeah. Well, this is the new version. I read now it's called the 6x12 I don't know. It's got a new thing. But that's totally correct. This new one is a lot easier to work with, apparently. Are you watching Jackal with Eddie Redmayne? No, but it's on my list, Conair. It's actually very good. I'm not a big Eddie fan, but you should check. I'm not a big fan of him either. But man, was he glorious in The Danish Girl. He really was. I think he's kind of a flimsy Omega ambassador. Can I just say that? I don't know. I just don't see, he just doesn't feel like a watch ambassador to me. There's certain kinds of dudes and beautiful girls like Kaya Gerber. Oh my God. Can anybody believe how beautiful that woman is? I mean, as if her mother wasn't beautiful enough. That girl is just astonishingly gorgeous. She was in this show called Palm Royale, and she walked on the screen and I just went, oh my God. Could you be more beautiful? Oh, Angelo Minichello. Dirk, I sent you a pic for all to see. New acquisition, but a special point to let Sharon see it. Angelo, we love you, man. I don't know what else to say about Friday night, man, other than you know what I said. I guess you got. Oh, you did. I got an email from you. Thanks. You're the best, man. I love you, man. Thank you so much. And a big bang boom for you for that. Let's go with. I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you the biggest one I got. Rufus says she was one hell of a drummer. Speaking of Karen Carpenter, she sure was. Travis Watts says, I go to sleep at night watching true crime documentaries on ID. Is there something wrong with me? Travis, so Paul falls asleep on the couch every single night. And when I leave the room, because he's already passed out, he falls asleep, just happens, watching murder shows. And I had to actually, at one point, because I have a plasma TV, I wrote letters to the ID network begging them to the bug. I don't know if you guys know what a bug is. A bug is the little ID of the logo on the lower right-hand side of your channel. And what happens is it was static and was burning into my screen. I actually ruined my previous TV. And that's what he does. He falls asleep every single night watching that crap. And then I'm surprised I'm not dead, because he knows every which way to get away with murder. One day, if I get murdered, it was either Dragon Lady or it was him. And if they get away with it, it was Paul. It's like painting over the Mona Lisa to improve it. Don't mess with perfection. Absolutely, 100% don't do that. That's true. Angelo, you've restored my faith in humanity. Thank you for demonstrating understanding and forgiveness. I'm so happy right now. Me too, because I just felt like such a shitbag for not, just handling that better. It was just ridiculous. One day I'll have one. I've got my cat in the truck. But by the way, this is an interesting piece of tidbit. Angelo has the exact same glass kitty. We discovered that when we were talking about, because I said, look what I did. I put I have cats all over because I'm a cat lady. I have cats all over my desk. I have all kinds of different cats all over the place. And but this one fits so perfectly in the back of my Cyber Beast. I thought it was a great idea. Thank you, Carolyn Martin. Let's give you the cowbells. Okay, it is time for everybody's favorite part of the show. You know what it is? It's time for the Gallery of Bastards. The Gallery of Bastards. Send me the shots, the sublime, the absurd. The Gallery of Bastards. You share them with me, and I share with the world. First one up tonight in honor of the man, Angelo Minichello. Here's a pic for Sharon. This is a knife. Regards, Angelo. You ready for this? Oh boy, you knife people. Well, Angelo's got like a museum. I mean, you guys he's been kind enough to share his beautiful abode with the rest of us. Look at this thing. The Certificate of Origin, the Knife Makers Guild of Southern Africa. Look at this. Holy macaroni. Whoa. That is rough. Wow. Look at that thing. That is crazy town. Oh wow, look at that. Oh, wow. What did you shoot this with? An electron microscope? Holy crap, look at the resolution of this photograph. What the hell? Oh my God, what is that? I have never seen a picture come up on this show that I could zoom into that far. Look at the resolution. What is that shot with? Please don't say. I know that you're not an iPhone guy, right? So what is that shot with a Samsung? Angelo, could you just tell me what you shot this with? Please tell me that that's like a Nikon or a Leica or something like that. Please. Because that is, look at this. Ready for this? That's a regular picture. And look at that. Holy crap. Look at the hex screws in there. Holy macaroni. Wow. Angelo, killer. And he could be with one of those things. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Let's go to, what was this? Did I have this yesterday? Okay, this is Angelo Minichello. That was Angelo Minichello's beautiful knife. Thanks, buddy. Now we got Andrew in guard duty. What are you guarding there, Mr. Senor? What are you doing? Oh, an Olympus, OMG. That's right. We talked about that. You're a huge Olympus fan. And they went out of business. Well, I mean, they didn't go out of business. They're back with a different name. That's so crazy. Don't you hate that when that happens to your favorite brands? Like, I'm a big Panasonic TV guy, and Panasonic has not sold televisions in the United States since the one I bought. I have the last plasma TV that they ever made for the United States. I know that they do make OLEDs and stuff for the rest of the world, but this year, like a month ago, Panasonic re-entered the United States market. And I'm like, great. The next time I buy a TV, I'm going to be going to a store in Italy. I'm not buying another TV because I'm going to rock my plasma until it just drops dead. Thank you for that so much, Andrew. Senor, you're so cute. Thank you, buddy. And I think this is, wristwatch check from Handsome Joe LaFaro from last night. He sent it to me after the show. But of course, here we go with his Glycine Combat Automatic Sub 20 Atmospheres. Look at this thing. And look how it matches his shirt so perfectly. I like your Mets colors, your New York colors there, Mr. LaFaro. Blue and orange, my favorite combo. My favorite combo. My entire living room is blue and orange for a lot of weird reasons, but I'll let you know about that later. I love that strap on there too, kid. Looks great. Fantastic. I love those glycines. They're amazing. Amazing. They're amazing. Okay, we got Handsome Joe in the room. Let me see. And then I got Andrew. I got Steve McLeod. Illness, I know. Here is a view of his six-pack. I was like, wow, that's provocative. And then I realized it's a six-pack of Rolex. Holy crap. I'm not a watch channel. Holy macaroni. Look at that. Look at that. Whew. Is that a 1675? It looks like it might be. Wow. I'm so sorry. I so love them so much more. Sorry, Carolyn. I know. I just do. I love the aluminum. I love it. I think it's so much sexier. Oh, these are gorgeous. Look at this. This is the sickness. Yeah. Well, it's the kind of sickness everybody here wants. Looky there, man. These are gorgeous. Wow. Even your Daytona, which, you know, I'm not the biggest Daytona guy, but man, that's beautiful. Look at this collection. And I love your case too. Look at that beautiful glass front. I mean, this is just, sub no date. And then you have, that's a 1675, right? I mean, it looks mint. Absolutely mint. Wow. These are gorgeous, man. Congratulations on a very, very, very sick collection, bro. Those are incredible. Melly C with Winter Madness. You know who's coming up. It's the Mork and Mindy Show, bro. Hello, beautiful baby. Oh, the incomparable Mork. Hi, buddy. Hey, buddy. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, and Mindy, she's in her little crevasse. I used to love to make little crevasses of, like tents or pillows. And every time I did that, Vern would always find the way in there. Look at you, you beautiful lady. You beautiful lady. You sleeping? You having a nappy poo? Oh, happiness is a sleeping cat. Carolyn Martin says that GMTs rule because you're the GMT queen. I mean, man, I much prefer those older ones over the ceramic ones. I know people love the ceramic ones, but I also prefer cats. Look at you, beautiful Mork. What a superstar you are. And he's looking great, you guys. Melly and Andy. He's looking great. You know, anytime you find out that a kitty's not feeling well, they instantly get the spotlight. And the beautiful lady. And the beautiful boy. And the beautiful boy. Look at you. You're looking at something. Oh, snacks, perhaps, with her pink nose. So cute. Oh, roly-poly. Roly-poly. Oh, you're a baby. Uh-oh. What are you on the prowl for? She's the queen of that house, you know. Is that a big CD collection, you guys? It looks like CDs and DVDs. Oh, baby. Action shots. Oh, it's the Mork and Mindy Show. Thank you, boys and girls. Mork and Mindy make me want cats. Of course they do. You can. You have too many dogs. I mean, my dog and my cat were best friends. Yours could be too. Yours could be too. This is Andrew showing me proof that YouTube's doing. Look, live and look at this. This was Emmett was first. Pending traffic, I'll be late. Now it said top messages too. So 15 hours ago, this was what you had. And I saw about 16 messages last night, and Emmett was first. So there you go, kids, boys and girls. Right. And then we have Travis Watts, wrist shot of homage. Oh, yep, look at this shot. Oh boy. Yeah, this is a man with a very big wrist. This is a guy with he's got a lumberjack wrist looking. Oh, look at that shot. What a smart way to do that. Yeah, he's got some big meat hooks on him, this guy. I think you could probably give Emmett and Oisin a run for their money because turns out that Emmett's got a bigger wrist than Oisin. It's just O'Malley shit, right? I think you could give them a look at that. That is crazy. Look at that thing. That is so beautiful. Doesn't everybody need a reverso? Doesn't everybody? Doesn't everybody need one? I guess they kind of do, right? It's the most unique watch, really, in the whole wide world, as far as great watch. And the Juju le Culte. We all need a Juju le Culte. We all need that. Beautiful. Hiteshi, any chance I could get a copy of your Hitman record with the water bottle? Yeah. Yeah. I'll just send you one. They're not coming from the same place, but Hitesh, I'll send you one. Sure. You just got that. Okay, sure. Oh, it's the Caribbean. She spells it Caribbean. Carabean. Like Caribbean, but isn't that clever? Look at this thing. I mean, stop. That's not right. It's just not fair. It's not right. It's not fair. Wow. Oh, of course you have a beautiful cat. Of course you do. Look at that. By the way, those are beautiful. That's a beautiful duvet you got going on there. Yeah, all the best stuff I had was always for Laverne. All the crappy stuff I have is for me. But look at that. You're a beautiful lady. You're a beautiful lady. Oh, thank you so much. We love it. And I love that we have a new superstar on the show. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that. Sharon. Not a bad place to have. Okay, what do you got? What are you going to show off here? No name. No name. It's Carolyn Martin. Well, yeah, sure. That's okay. If you like those kinds of things. I mean, that ice blue is sick. And that bracelet. Oh, Jesus. I mean, that might be the sickest bracelet there is in the whole wide world. I mean, it's crazy. You know what? That might be the watch that suits you best, my darling. Because it is really perfect. And that sunburst ice blue dial is nuts. Nuts, nuts, nuts. Thank you. Mr. Bell, the dark side, meet you on the dark side of the moon. Technically, there is no dark side of the moon. It's a myth. It's tidally locked to us. That's it, though. That is, yeah, I love this watch. You know, this is a great watch because you could beat the living crap out of it and no one would ever know because it's such a rough and tumble watch. I have a friend who bought this. It's amazing, the skeletonized one. It's absolutely incredible. Beautiful. Yeah, it's one of the most, and that racing strap. Oh, man. Speedy swing, speedy swing, speedy swing. Never do that to a Speedmaster person because they're crazy. Because I like them all. Hitesh has a new watch, picked up a new micro brand today. Well, let's have a looky poo. We like it. Let's see. Let's all judge him. Wow. That's interesting. Very interesting the way it's like CNC'd. Oh, hey, look at this thing. Sapphire Crystal Macara Lizard Limited Edition. Oh, very cool back, huh? 10 atmospheres. Okay. Oh, hey, that's an attractive piece. Macara. Where's that made? Where's it from? Tell us everything. I want to know now. Everything. Where is it made? Looks great on that, Nate. Oh, look at this very interesting strap. Huh. Look at this buckle on here. What's going on over there? Does that fit into something? Or is it almost like it almost looks like brass knuckles? Wow, that's cool, man. Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, wow. It's just the design. Very cool. Huh. Never heard of it. Now I have. Oh, it looks great on you too. It's big, huh? It's a big watch. Very interesting design. I love it. Wow. Very legible too. Which, listen, it's important that we know what the look. I'm wearing my watch. Look, I just realized that I'm wearing it on my where I normally wear it because that's what I was wearing it today, like that. I'm gonna show hand. Back on the show hand. Because I can't do. Oh wow, it's loose on this. Did my Easy Link come out? My Easy Link came out. So I for a Rolex, I have to take out one link because I'm 7.25, and then I have to use the Easy Link. So, but it fits. Looks great. Thanks, Hiteshi. Beautiful. Thank you so much. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Gallery of Bastards. Give me a shot to sublime the absurd.
The Gallery of Bashtards. Send me the shots, the sublime, the absurd. The Gallery of Bashtards. You share them with me, and I share with the world.
Share them with me, and I share with the world. We could do the reverse rain ride. You share them with me, and I share with. We should do like 3 or 4 different versions of that. Let's see where we left off before we close out the show and see who was saying what and blah blah blah. Let's see, Rose. Rose? My sister's here. She says, never tease a weasel because teasing isn't nice. Yeah, but never tease a weasel. This is very good advice. A weasel will not like it, and teasing isn't nice. That's it. My sister and I used to watch that. Look at those books like maniacs. That and Old Black Witch. Does anybody remember Old Black Witch? That was a great book too. Very cool stuff. Damascus steel. Ooh, look at this. Damascus. You guys know all about this. Damascus, one of the beautiful cities of the world, destroyed by war and nonsense. And that guy's a maniac, huh? He's a maniac. I don't know. What's going on in there lately? Let's see. What's going on there now with that guy? Is he still hanging people? That guy's not a very cool dude at all. Travis Watt says, Platinum Day, tried one on. It's heavy. Yeah, because Carolyn Martin has told me that watch is super duper heavy. Did you write that somewhere? Rolex GMTs, Rolex 6-packy of Roly Heaven. That's for sure. Andy M says, Olympus is my camera. The lenses are amazing. Pentax are up there too. Pentax have always been up there. People just don't know, People know about, Hasselblad and Leica and all that stuff. I got Paul the very first. I might have it right here. If I do, I'll show it to you. I do. It's not. This is not a particularly great camera or anything, but when digital cameras first came out, and Paul is a very good photographer. I bought him this for Christmas, probably in 2000 or whenever it came out. This is the Rolex, the Leica Digilux 1. And this is their first digital camera that they ever made. And it's like 5 megapixels, but it's got really great, it's got a very nice lens on it, which is not interchangeable though. Obviously things have come a long way, but it's got a hot shoe on it. And it's got this really cool thing in the back, to take pictures. And we don't use it anymore because obviously, iPhones take better pictures. But I will admit one thing, that when you take pictures with it, the lens is noticeably terrific. So yeah, like some of these old cameras are great. And what is that? Something ringing? I don't know. I'll have to find out later on. You find out with like a lot of these old vintage cameras, like if you get an old rangefinder or one of these amazing old cameras, just nothing looks like it with a gorgeous Ilford or a great Kodak roll of film. The stuff's just amazing. Fujifilm, I never really particularly cared for. I always thought that it had a very funny kind of like, kind of changed the color around. Ilford was always great for black and white, of course. But I loved dark rooms and all those things back in the day. My father-in-law used to work at the Metropolitan Museum of Natural History's dark room for years. Fantastic stuff. Yeah. So Travis says, I have a 7.5 amp. Oh, is that right? I don't know. I think you need to redo that because it looks bigger than that. Looks bigger on TV. Can I just say that? Because I have 7.25 and my wrist does not look big at all. That's a 41. That you look meaty, buddy. It looks like a meaty. Got a meaty wrist there, pal. It's fascinating stuff, I guess. Reverso is very classy. It sure is. That's a Superman hand. I agree. Totally. Is this technically kiddie porn? Yeah, I guess so. It is. I guess so. Jocelyn Bittenbender said, ooh, that blue is so beautiful. Totally is. Yeah, it's totally crazy. The UHC case is so interesting. I agree. I totally agree. Hiteshi loves the Speedmaster. And Andy M says, we just discovered chocolate mousse in an aerosol can for £2. I can see a need for bigger clothing coming in. Well, it's winter, so you can get away with it because we're wearing heavier clothing. Really, chocolate mousse in an aerosol can? That's like cheese in a can. I don't know how I feel about that. It's from Quebec in Canada. How interesting. Wow. That's amazing. It's amazing. Mimi says at Mike Callan, well, I don't advocate killing anybody. I'm thankful that it's opened up such a broad dialogue and bringing a lot of issues to light. Yeah, but it's because people going after that whole I can't get in that line either. I just don't understand the point of that. It just sounds crazy to me. I mean, he's a guy, he's a man with wife and kids. He didn't invent the system. Maybe he was trying to. I don't know anything about it, but people going after like the bank manager or the CEO of the financial institution or the president, it's nuts. Biblical City sure is one of the great cities of the world. Travis Watts with 20 balloons. Thank you for the chat. Are you kidding me? Thank you for the chat tonight. How about a big bang boom for you, Mr. Watts? You guys are everybody's trying to figure out who this guy is. Sharon with Canadian 1399. Keep warm, Dirk. Thanks so much. Thank you, darling. Oh, we'll give you a big bang boom for that too. Thank you so much. I'll give you Super Chat Guy. Thank you, Sharon, darling. My fingers are too cold to type tonight. So cold. I'm all right. It's actually because I have my green screen and it's 3 layers. It's a green and the blue, so it's actually kind of warm in my room, and I have these giant lights in here. They're huge. They're like this big, my studio lights, so they're big. Andy M says Syria, the government had just lost most of 3 cities. Aleppo's falling. Aleppo, I know somebody who was from Aleppo, and when they left, they were refugees. They came here. There was nothing left of where they came from. And what's the point of any of that? Doesn't anybody look at the long game for anything? Hiteshi says he wonders how long we think before Elon gets his hands on alien technology in his cars and rockets. There you go. If that's possible, which I don't think aliens have ever visited this world. I'm a big science nerd. I just think that space is too big and there's lots of life, but it's all so far away that no one's ever visited anybody. I don't think there's any star collectives or I just don't think so. I hope I'm wrong. I so hope I'm wrong. I think because I dream about it every day, like Alpha Centauri, and that there's nothing there. It's a red dwarf star, and it's filled with radiation, and nothing's going to work over there, and everything else is too far away. Travis says that my wrist is flat, makes it look a lot bigger. See, that's the thing. Paul's got a very flat wrist. He's got a bigger wrist than me, but it's flat, so it just looks different. Mike is obsessed with this case. He wants all the juicy stuff. You guys are hilarious. Melly says, yeah, let's connect you on Dirk's Insta. I'll find you. Yeah, we'll turn each other on Instagram. I'm so bad at Instagram. I'm so bad at it. So bad. To Handsome Joe LaFaro with $9.99. Thank you, buddy boy. Let's give you a big bang boom for that. Let me see. We're going to give the befitting LaFaro. I'm going to go with Gone Woman 4. I love that one because it rattles my headphones. And Mike Callan with $10 super sticker. Thank you everybody for all that stuff. And let's mix it up a little bit with the huge super chat. Andy M on a Area 51 shopping spree, hilarious. Yeah, I know everybody loves Instagram. I've been on it for years. I just don't use it effectively. I just don't. I just don't. Anyway, that's the show, guys. Thanks so much for joining me tonight on this beautiful Friday night, the solo Friday, which is nice. Once in a while, we could do this while our friend who joins us on Friday night is exploring the very best of Miami. I've not been there since I was a kid. My sister and I, here's my story real quick. My dad took me and my sister Carrie to if she's still on the show, she could corroborate. He dropped us off at the Eden Rock Hotel and we didn't see him again until we left. We had somebody like looking out for us, kind of, sort of. And we were at the Eden Rock, which is a beautiful hotel right next door to the Fontainebleau. And every day we would go to lunch at this bar that had a window that was the pool. So all you did was see people's legs bobbing around in it. And that's where we were told to go. We had a point guy that we met every single day. We went there. And I don't remember seeing my father. He showed up, took us out to dinner one night at some Cuban place. Like rice, beans, and meat or whatever it was. This was pre-vegetarian Dirk because I was a child. And it was a very, very funny thing. But the Eden Rock, this was the 70s. So it's not what you think. It was beautiful. And then it fell into like hard times, Miami. And that's when we were there. Like the Fontainebleau, like it needed some love and care, the Eden Rock. It was a little like a dowdy old lady hotel. It wasn't so great. Obviously, it's something spectacular now. And the Fontainebleau was the whole strip was very run down. It was a very bad time for Miami. So I've not seen the renaissance of Miami and its amazingness. I've never seen that. I remember going there, my sister and I being very bored because we were abandoned. I don't know he dropped us at the hotel, took off, and I don't know what the hell happened to him. I don't know where he went. But it was beautiful. And I remember, because she's 18 months older than me. So she's the big sister. We went out on our own, walked down Collins Avenue and did a bunch of stuff like we're kids. I think I was like 8. I was young. I don't even remember that. She'll tell me those. She remembers all of that kind of crazy. Here she goes, the Eden Rock. Daddy was at work. Yeah, Daddy was at work. But remember that night he took us to like the Cuban, like down, we walked and walked and walked, and we were kind of like in a kind of very congested area, and we went to this very little small restaurant, and we had like Cuban food. My dad was a beer guy. He loved beer, and he was drinking the beer, and he was like, wow, they have really good beer down here. I don't even remember what we ate at that point, but that's the only time I've ever been to Miami. And it was when it was not like, what it is now on Collins Avenue. Anyway, that's my show. Thanks, guys, so much for everything. Thank you for the beautiful super chatters. No name needed. Maniac, Mr. Sisto, thank you so much. Thank you for today. I appreciate you getting back to me. It's very important that I get checked from time to time. Angelo Minikillo, I don't know what else to say to you. I love you, man. And, sometimes shit goes on the channel that I should be a little bit more aware of and a little bit more self-assertive. And you know what? I'm going to practice what I preach. That's going to be my mantra for this year is going to be practice what you preach. I'm not perfect. I know that, but I certainly don't want to give the wrong impression of anybody because this is a community of people that care about one another, and it's got to be that or nothing else. It's got to be this or nothing else for everybody. So thank you so much, Mr. Sisto, Mr. Minikillo, Travis Watts. Again, no name needed. Travis again, Sharon, Joe LaFaro, Mike Allen. Thanks, guys. And thanks to everybody who watches the show and gives a shit about everybody else. Thank you for caring. Thank you for sharing. This show is yours. I just host it. And I'll see you on Sunday for Sunday Mass. So remember to hold the door open. Remember to say please and thank you. And remember, by the way, these are my that's my YouTube channel. I want to make sure you got my Patreon, my beautiful Patreon people. Where are they? There's my little scroll wheel for all my beautiful people and my email. If you want to send me pictures of your cats, your dogs, your Cybertruck, please do. I'd love to see it. Angela, when you get it, I hope you'll do us the honor of unboxing it on the show. Remember to hold the door open. Remember to say please and thank you. And remember, if you encounter somebody who's unkind, give them the benefit of the doubt, or better yet, call them out on it, because you never know. Sometimes they're a really good person, or else sometimes they just might be a real son of a goddamn